Alright guys, today we're going to do a badge swap on the Kia Telluride, the 2020, the brand new model. We've got the BRENTHON badges and everything I need over here. Try to use anything I can find just out of the house, as not everyone can order tools and all that fun stuff. I'm going to go ahead and try it with the blow dryer on the back. You can see the BRENTHON badges over here. I'm about to unbox them and we'll be right back. Alright, first we're going to start here with the front badge on the Telluride. This is actually on a plate that is attached to the vehicle. There's going to be 4 clips, one on each side, one on the top, and one on the bottom. I just used some flat edge tools to kind of get in there and pop those. To start out, I got this little green guy in here. And you'll see on this side, I popped one already just to give you an idea of where the crack is that you're looking for, right here. So then on this side, where we've got this green guy in, I want to insert my blue one and kind of work it around. And you should hear the pop. Then we're gonna slide it on up here to the top, and there's another pop, and that last one should just pop from. Oh, looks like this side one might have popped back on. Let's see if we can slide it around here. Might have to get back in on the right. There we go. And then that bottom one typically comes off pretty easily. Have to wiggle around. There we go. So there's those 4 clips on the back. Alright, so for the front badge, to get this off this little black plate behind it, there's 4 little silver clips that you have to undo. They're pretty difficult. See if I can get one up close. That one's I've started to get. You can see where I kind of stick a screwdriver in between there and pry. You can kind of pry it backwards. Here's what it looks like before you start. You can see kind of how the silver overlaps on the black edge. So what I've been using is I take a screwdriver in between to kind of pry that black edge away. And then I take another screwdriver and take the flat side of it and push down on it. Once you get all 4 of them started, it'll pop loose pretty easily. Alright, so what I end up doing is once I got that little screwdriver down in the hole, sorry, it's kind of blurry. Once I got it down in that hole, I actually took my little pry tool and I started it down in the crack where I could just barely get it in. And as I went around each clip and started to free it, I slid this around, and that allowed to pull them silver clips out. So you'll see I got one left in here. It's about ready to pop. So I should just be able to pull this off. And there we have it. All the clips still intact in case we ever want to go back. And then here's our plate that we're going to stick the new emblems on. Alright, for the replacement emblem, looks like we've got a little bit of instructions. Once again, this is for the BRENTHON 3G emblem. So there's the instructions for the front. We've got the double-sided 3M tape, the emblem itself, as well as the backing of the emblem, which these will go together like so. It will show using the tape. So to start, what we're going to do is we're going to flip this emblem upside down. We're going to remove the brown paper from this 3M, and we're going to stick it to the back side of this. Alright, once you've got that on the back, you see some stickiness for each of these where we're going to put the background. We'll help to peel that off to attach it to the plate. And so what I did is all those little black pieces were attached to this ring. And to get them off there, just use some little sharp snips You can see on the back side of these pliers I used to cut them off and get as nice flush edge as possible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these one by one, line them up on their correct sides. I'll just stick them down in there. This is where it's really important to get, when you cut them off that plastic piece, to get it nice and flush and not have any extra, or else they won't fit down in here. I always like to hold it for at least like 15 seconds or so, any of this 3M. So we'll do all four, and this is what it should look like. So on this one, you guys can see where that little edge is. We don't want that, or else it won't be able to fit down in the emblem. So what I'm doing, you could do sandpaper, whatever. I'm just taking my pliers, kind of grab that edge. Should just kind of break right off, rip off. We want to get that a nice flush edge. There we go. Now it should fit much better down here. Alright, now we got the background in. Looks really nice. So those are stuck down in there. I held each one for, I don't know, 15-20 seconds. They sit nice and flush. Almost done with the front emblem. Next thing we want to do is we're going to remove this tape, and then we're going to stick it on this plate, which will then use the clips to go right back on the car. I'm going to try and set my phone down here and see if we can show you guys doing that. So you gotta be kind of careful. Make sure you don't peel the backing off. It looks like we'll have to get each one of these individually. Wish this was a little bit easier. You just have to kind of get your finger up in there on each of these and peel them off. Alright guys, I got the badge on the plate. Everything's holding on real nicely. So all we've got left to do now is line up these 4 holes, top, bottom, left, right, for these clamps. Clamp it on. Should hear it click in place on all 4. Boom. BRENTHON 3G. I always like to keep plenty of microfiber towels around. Come up here and clean it real good, get rid of all those smudges. Believe it or not, the car had a bath today, but it doesn't look like it. Looks good. Alright guys, we're going to move to the rear of the vehicle now. So this is probably what I consider the hardest emblem to replace. It's held on with 3M tape on the back side to the vehicle. The hardest part is there's actually a little bit of a lip. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's going to be kind of hard to get stuff back in there, and you definitely don't want to damage the paint. The other problem with this badge is there's actually 2 little pins on the back of this badge that line up with holes, so you're not going to be able to use your easy fishing line to fish back there. Plus the other problem with fishing line, if you're not careful, you can actually ding the paint and it looks real bad. So my favorite thing to do is, some people will tape around it. I've just got this massive pack of microfiber towels off Amazon for cheap, and as I pry around the outside of this, I'm going to use this towel to hopefully protect the paint and not damage or get any nicks. As far as heating up the glue, I do not have a heat gun. I've always just used a blow dryer, which I've been told takes a little bit longer, but I didn't have to buy anything new, so that's what I'm gonna stick with. Alright, so what's working the best, I got this real thin but strong metal prying tool. And as it heats up, I was able to really shove it down in there. Now I'm going to continue to heat, and I'm just going to kind of wiggle it back and forth. Hopefully continue to break free. I'm not sure how well you can see down in there, where you see some of the 3M tape breaking free. The key with this though is don't let the metal rub up against the car as you move it. You want to pull it so it's off the car. So as you wiggle it, you're not ripping into the paint. Alright, so we got the badge off. You see all the glue right here. I did nick the paint a little bit behind the badge. Whatever, I mean, you can go pick up a paint marker if you like and do a touch-up from the dealer. And I don't know if you can tell, I did get a little couple small spots going around the outside. Nothing too severe, but if it's something that's going to bug you, I'd just go get one of those paint touch-up markers. Take care of it real good. Now what we're going to do is I've got some Goo Gone from doing some old emblems. So I'm going to spray some Goo Gone on here, let it sit for just a little bit. And then these little plastic scrapers work great. Actually, I might not even need the Goo Gone. I might just be able to heat it up and just peel it right off. When this stuff is hot, it tends to come off pretty easily. But I'd still use the Goo Gone afterwards. That'll help clean it up real nice and allow the new one to stick better. Alright guys, so I have the tape on the back side of this now. We're ready to get the inserts in. I'm going to try and set my phone down and do it live, cutting these and inserting them into the emblem. Alright, next I'm going to take my little pliers and get rid of all these little tiny edges. Basically just squeeze and rip them off. Live near a busy road if you guys can't tell. All that honking and traffic in the background. Alright, looks like we got them all flush now. So thankfully these each only fit in one slot, the way they're designed. So I will go ahead and start with one of these side ones. And they fit perfectly down inside with no space left over. I'm going to sit there and hold that for a second. So then just an example, one of these guys, same idea. Stick it down on the bottom. Squeeze it in there. Hold it for 15 seconds. All good. The one thing I didn't mention is these are technically separate stickies. So when you put this on the car, or like when we did up front, you want to make sure you hold each of those in as well, so that way each of those individual pieces will stick nicely to the vehicle. We are about ready to stick the back emblem on. See, I got these guys in. Everything's looking good. Go ahead and peel this tape off. And I wanted to show you guys what I meant, how those were separate. See how they're not really the same backing. So that's the other key. When you peel this tape off, you'll also have to get all those as well. You guys definitely want to make sure you have like a trash box sitting off to the side. It's not real windy today, but just enough to where at first everything wanted to start to take off. So I've got the box, everything came in here weighted down. And that way I can pitch some trash in it. You guys will see we're ready to go on. Got the tape off the back. The key here is going to be to get it lined up nice and perfect. You only get one chance, so I'm going to go ahead and sit the phone down for that. There we have it, the BRENTHON 3G rear emblem. We can get it up close, see where it doesn't fit it perfectly. That looks good. And for any of these who wonder, yes, I'm an FC Cincinnati MLS soccer fan. So we're going to swing over here to the side. We've got 4 of these cap covers we're going to do. 2 options. 1, do them on the vehicle. It's kind of a pain. 2, I'm going to take my little metal pry tool and just stick it down in there in the side. And it pops right out. There you go. So I'll probably go ahead and pop all these off, do them over on the table, and we'll be back. So we've got all 4 wheel caps, as well as the BRENTHON overlays. And then 8 stickers for the back. I'm not sure why there's 8. I guess if you use 2, it'd make it push off even higher. I've got 1 on already, and I was test fitting it on to the cap itself. No matter what, you're gonna have at least a little bit of a, you know, if you get right down next to it. That's sitting right on top right now. But from the front, it's looking pretty good. There's one BRENTHON 3G emblem stuck to the wheel cover. I just used one of the sets of stickers. It looked like it's holding pretty well. We're gonna go ahead and walk over here and just show you how to install it back on. It's pretty easy. Got these clips right here, and you just want to line it up with the hole. Oh. Line it up with the hole. Doesn't matter on direction, obviously, with the wheels. Nice snug push. There it is. And actually, with it being on the wheel, it pops in far enough, you don't even see that extra lip around the side. Looks factory. Onto the steering wheel. So it looks like we've got a steering wheel emblem right here. Got 2 3M stickers. I'm guessing this is the one we're going to want to use. This one looks pretty thick, so I'm assuming that's if we were to remove the steering wheel emblem completely, which we're not going to do. I don't suggest it either, especially with having an airbag behind. It does not look like the easiest task. So we'll go ahead and use We'll go ahead and use this one today. We got the 3M tape on the back. I went ahead and got it lined up and stuck on the steering wheel. Give it a nice wipe down with a fiber cloth. Looks pretty good. One recommendation is obviously you're going to want to hold on this, but you're going to hit the horn when you're trying to get it to stick. So you can kind of stick your hand up behind there, and then I use my right hand over on the side, and you're able to kind of use your thumbs. That just prevents you from honking the horn for 30 seconds while you hold it in place. Alright guys, I think that's all we have for today. That is our steering wheel emblem. Even has that fake leather look behind it to match the steering wheel. We got a wheel emblem. There's a front emblem. And last but not least, our rear emblem. Once again, this is the BRENTHON 3G Emblems. I was able to order online from Telluride forums. Go check them out.